Welcome back to Check. It's time for another audiobook review on a book that I've reviewed. Welcome once again. I did review this back in December, Yami-hara, and in my review, I did explain that I was gonna talk about the second half in this video, which I will, because it is an audiobook review. And I did receive both the hard copy and audiobook, and I wanted to make an individual video for each one. Talk about the differences when it comes to obviously having an audiobook and a book. I think it's very obvious, but for those that do get audiobooks, there is quality audiobooks and some that are not. So I'll talk about that as well in this video. Before anything, this was sent to me by Yanon, and Yanon is a side company of Yen Press. They release all the books and light novels through the division. This is more of a book, less of a light novel. It is just one book on itself. It's not a volume, so once you buy this, you're done. It is a horror series, and it's not series, a book, and it's good. It's really good. In fact, Mizuki Sujimura is actually known for some of the horror. I believe she wrote a previous book in horror, so she's known for it. So, anyways. Also, guys, if you haven't done so by now, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Give some love by commenting, liking, and sharing. You also can find me on social media and other places by checking the description below. Okay, so Mitsuki Sujimura. This book is Yami-hara, and the first video that I made, I talked about, I believe, the first two chapters, the new student and the neighbor. New student was it kind of seemed like vampire vibes, but not really. Um, and it was really about a girl meeting a guy, and we thought that um, she, she was basically being followed by this guy, right? She was being followed by the new kid, and there's another guy who basically took her and protected her. He ended up being the bad guy. He ended up being kind of like a vampire dude, and the new kid was really there to protect her. Neighbors was about a mom trying to get into like the mom group of the building, and strange things were happening. Some suicides happened. Some controlling was happening, and um, it all came from this one lady that was basically doing all the it was the strange lady of the group that was really involved, highly involved. So then we get three more chapters in the book, which I read, I want to say through almost chapter four. And then I received the audiobook, and I actually heard from chapter one through chapter five, or the final chapter, the entire thing in audio, because I wanted to hear how they would do the voices and all that. But I wanted to have a more cohesive, I guess, story together. Um, Before I talk about the story itself, one, the voice actor, actually actors, I think there's a male and a female, did a really well job in this audiobook. They do a good job in keeping the voices different and from the thoughts and all that. I mean, you really do seem, it does seem like someone's reading it to you, whereas there's other audiobooks that I've read where kind of like all the characters are the same. There's no voice acting to it. It's just someone reading a book. So, voice actor, really good. Yen Press hasn't really released a lot of audiobooks, and I would like to believe, and this is not obviously confirmed, but I like to believe that the reason why is because they are choosing the right ones that may, do a better job instead of just picking random people to do it. So, okay. Chapter three is, I'm gonna go here to the names because I forgot the names of all these chapters. But chapter three is a co-worker, and it's an interesting one. It's about boss who basically does way more than he should for like this one particular guy who basically gives his all to him. Like he's there, and again, it's I think every single one there's a twist to it, and this one was I think by now it was a little bit more obvious that the strange acting of the employee and not the actual the coworker, not the actual boss, was the bad vibes of there's something strange about this guy, right? And he ends up actually being the one kind of calling the shots, and um, someone else ends up in the leadership position and ends up falling into the same cycle of abusing the coworker, but not really. The coworker's actually almost sucking their life away. Group leader is about a boy, and this is kind of how it all starts connecting all the pieces together. And essentially, it's a new student, but young boy. I want to say elementary level, and he is definitely like you can tell he is controlling people. Like it's very obvious. Here's where we get connection of the girl to the story from the first story to the lady that was part of the apartments. That's the same people that go to this school, as well as one of the persons that works there is also from the co-worker story. And then lastly, we hit family. Family it connects everything, and essentially it's the guy from the first story. He is actually hunting down this group of people called the family that essentially are evil, and he gets rid of a few of them and chases down the young boy, who is like the I guess the main one, and with the help of a girl who was friends with um the girl who disappeared in the first chapter. So it all connects at the end. It does a really good job at connecting everything, and I really enjoyed it. Um, I don't want to give too much about the story, to be honest, but there's a lot of twists and turns. There's a lot of like aha moments, and most of it is in that last chapter. But you do see some of it in the the third and the fourth chapter as well, when they start connecting stuff. So personally, I think it's a really good story. I wouldn't say it's like horror. I would say more on the suspense side. Very suspenseful. It keeps you really trying to guess. Because once you try to figure out, like, okay, there's always one evil person, trying to guess who the evil person is. And once you get to the kid story, like the fourth chapter, it's very obvious. But in the beginning, you don't realize that's what's going on. So, anyways, guys, that is all that I have for you guys. If you haven't done so by now, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I have other audiobooks reviewed already. So if you're interested in audiobooks, check out my channel. I have some reviewed there. I'm hoping to get more audiobooks soon, so I can listen to them and then also review for them. So hopefully Yem Press sends me more to review. I do appreciate all the love and support that you guys show this channel, and guys, like always, don't be strangers, go support Yem Press.